Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Let me introduce myself. My name is Kent. The channel is EOS San Diego. I make a nightly video about the EOS blockchain. So if you're interested in EOS, you want to find out more about EOS, you should pay attention and listen every single night because I give a lot of great information about EOS. And I will continue to do so because I am passionate about the EOS blockchain. I think it's the most valuable project in the world, and I think it's going to change a lot of people's lives. And I passionately believe that. And that's why I do these videos every single night. And it's probably the most exciting part of my day, just to get on a video and talk about EOS because of all the things going on with EOS. All the unique things going on with EOS and how I believe EOS is changing the world. And I'll tell you the way EOS is changing the world. It's solving, or hopefully will solve, the world's biggest problem. And a lot of people would say that the world's biggest problem would be poverty, disease, lack of food, water, lack of good medical care. All these different things would be the world's biggest problem. And I would agree with you, but you could make that argument that the world's biggest problem isn't all those things. Those things are just the outgrowth of the real problem. And the real problem in the world today is unequal distribution of wealth. That's the number one problem in the world. You can cure all the other things if you have the money to do it. You can cure sickness and malnutrition, and all the other issues can be cured if you have distributions of wealth and ways for people to create wealth on the internet or whatever else you can do to create wealth. All these things are remedied if you can distribute the wealth equally throughout the world. And one of the things that determines how much wealth you have is where you were born. I've heard Warren Buffett say before he would have never been as wealthy as he is if he had been born someplace else in the world. He just happened to be lucky enough to be born in a place where there was a lot of infrastructure. There was a lot of things that he could benefit by being where he was at. Of course, he grew up in the same state I grew up in. I grew up in the opposite end. He probably grew up in the better end of the state than I did. And don't take offense to that, but that's where most of the action happens, in the state of Nebraska. But anyway, back to how EOS can change the world, and in my mind will change the world. And when you look at EOS and you look at all the great things that can be built on EOS, it's almost overwhelming. You just don't know how to do something great on EOS. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest problem for anybody that's a developer. How do you do something? How do you build something big on EOS? How do you make something that changes the world on EOS? Because there's just so much opportunity. There's so many ways of doing something that can change the world. How do you really make the world different by being on EOS or doing something on EOS? And I would say that we are seeing the next internet, and I know we say that all the time. It gets to be an overused phrase, but what I mean by next internet is I mean that we have an internet today. One of the best videos I ever made, got a lot of views, was will EOS be bigger than Google? At the time I made that video, I was kind of thinking it was a little bit out there, but the more I think about it, the more I think that video was really spot on, and that's why it got a lot of people to view it. Because what we have now on the internet is we have internet search. You can pretty much find anything you want to find on the internet. You can ask any question you want to ask. You can get a pretty good answer as far as anything you want to type into a search engine. That's internet today. Internet today is search engine use. It's search engine being able to create something or being able to find something on the internet. Being able to find a product, something to buy, something that you could purchase. Next level internet will be internet trading. Internet being able to exchange value on the internet. I know we do that today, but we do that with a third party being involved. Next level internet will be the free trading of the internet. The free liquid, what would I say? The word I'm looking for is making things liquid on the internet. making things so that things can trade freely, regardless of where you're at in the world, making wealth more evenly distributed throughout the world, but giving things liquidity online, being able to make things liquid on the internet. And that's going to be next level internet. That's the way EOS will change the world. And that's what is going to be the advantage of being on EOS. EOS is going to be the ability to exchange value over the internet through the open ledger. I hear a lot of people talk about how Peter Schiff mainly talks about how digital or Bitcoin and all these digital currencies are pretty much worthless. And the reason they're worthless is because they're just like fiat currencies. They're easy to duplicate. So of course, Peter Schiff loves gold, and he believes that he's not a big fan of fiat currencies, but he believes that fiat currencies are a necessary evil or a necessary need, but it needs to be backed by something that is tangible like gold. And that's what he's thinking. That's actually 1971 thinking, because that's when the United States got taken off the gold standard. But what Peter Schiff fails to understand is that what's the value of cryptocurrencies is the open ledger. The ability to trade on the internet and be able to be verified by the open ledger, to be able to be tracked through the hashing power and the ability to record all this on the open ledger on the distributed databases throughout the world, and not have any of those databases in any centralized location. That's the power of cryptocurrencies. That's the power of EOS, and that's the power to change the world. And that's what I believe is going to happen very soon, in the very near future. It's going to change the world by being able to openly trade, openly be able to access information, and be able to monetize and make everything liquid on the internet. That's how it's going to change the world. Redistributing wealth, giving everybody an opportunity to partake in wealth, which we don't have today. We don't have that. You know, you were born in a certain area. You were pretty much, by that, wherever you were born, you were pretty much, at that point, most of your future, most of your financial future, most of what you were able to do in your life was set at that point. If you were born in a very wealthy nation with a lot of infrastructure, a lot of education, a lot of ability to do things, go places, excess money to create, yes, now you have a nice life. If you were in a country that was at war, a country that had a lot of problems, a country that didn't have a lot of infrastructure or banking systems, or a country that was heavily in debt, that didn't have a currency that traded well with other currencies, your future was very limited. And that shouldn't be. People shouldn't be cut off from resources because of where they were born. People should have an equal opportunity to go out and create anywhere in the world or any place in the world. And that's what the open ledger and cryptocurrencies and EOS is doing. It's leveling the playing field for everybody to have an equal opportunity in this world to achieve a lifestyle, or achieve a level of of prosperity that they should have by what they're willing to do, and that's the way it should be. Not certain people just have everything, and everybody else is cut off because we just don't have a system to just distribute it better. All the world's problems can be solved with an equal distribution of wealth. Any place in the world can buy good medical care if they have wealth to do it with. Any place in the world can buy food and have good, clean water if they have the wealth to do it. The only thing that holds them back is the ability to trade and have things liquid over the internet. We have an internet today of search. We need an internet tomorrow of commerce and trade, an equalization of trade, and being able to trade without any kind of national or any kind of regulatory bodies that are in the background that are keeping or making it so you're unable to, because of where you're located or what you're doing or whatever, anything like that. It needs to be leveled. Everything needs to be leveled. And this is the internet. This is where the internet is. The internet can't fully be the internet without the ability to trade freely. If you want EOS, if you want to do something on EOS, if you want EOS to succeed, if you want EOS to be next level and change the world, you just need to trade on the internet. You need to trade on the blockchain. you need to do things on the blockchain. You need to do activity, trade the cryptocurrencies on the blockchain, exchange values on the blockchain, be able to get involved with some of the dApps that are monetizing. For instance, my good friend Dallas that has Karma, being able to use good deeds to exchange value so people can actually earn rewards for doing something good. That's a way of leveling the playing field. That's a way of making access for everything for everybody around the world. With the Challenge app, we're creating something, a positive influence on people to be in better shape, to be in better health, to be more fit, to live longer, because they're more active. We're trying to better people's lives by creating this app. We're trying to make things better for people. We're trying to incentivize people for better behavior. We're trying to create a better world. And through that, you're able to go out and you're able to incentivize people with a token that we created, that a token that we've given to everybody, a token that can be easily transferred and gone back and forth. And if you do that, if you trade it and participate in these applications that are being built, these dApps that are being built, you will help. You will further the cause of being able to level the world playing field, to be able to make it equal for everybody, to make everybody have a fair shot, to have a fair chance. And not only that, to actually do it. I mean, I believe there's enough wealth in the world that everybody should live well. I don't think certain people should have so much money that it's generational, that they can live without anything, without doing anything for generation upon generation upon generation upon generation. And other people, they don't even have clean water. That is not the way the world should operate. The world should operate, and I think the world would operate with everybody having equal. And I'm not saying that people need to, give unto others as what they need or whatever the communist, dictate is or whatever that is. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you got to give stuff away to people. I'm saying you got to level the playing field, give everybody the same opportunity. I'm not saying a taxation where you take from one and you give to another, from each to according to the age to each, according to whatever. I don't know how that goes. I can't remember now. But anyway, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying give everybody the opportunity without the third-party system of being able, to control certain wealth in certain parts of the world and keep that wealth from other people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Level the playing field for everybody. Make it happen in the open ledger, the distributed databases, the distributed network of being able to transact and freely trade online without third-party interventions, lack of a better way to say it. That was what will make the world a better place. That's what EOS is about. That's what I believe the blockchain is about. And that's why I do this every single night, because I believe that that's the way this world can be a better place. And I'm more interested in having the world be a better place than I am in anything else. I live in this world, and the thing I hate more than anything in this whole world is to see people that can't, that don't have a good life, that are in lack of or need of just common, basic, everyday human needs, things to eat, places to live, clean water. That's the one thing to me is the most important thing in the world, more important than anything else, because I've never been without those things, and I don't think it's fair for other people to have to be without them either. Anyway, I hope I didn't get on the soapbox too much tonight. I just want people to know that I believe EOS is a project that can help change the world, and that's why I'm involved with it, and that's why I'm proud to be involved with it, and that's why I talk about this every single night. I know we get wrapped up in other issues, but I think that's really what drives me and what motivates me, especially at this time in my life. I just want to see people be able to do better in the world, be able to prosper, and have a good life. That's my wish. That's my hope. Thank you very much.